Hey, it's Dan Brzezowski. Welcome back to the No Comfort Zone. Hey, after you hit a goal, do you work harder or do you chill out? I'll see you on the inside.
Welcome.
Attention, please.
Welcome aboard.
Welcome to the No Comfort Zone podcast. It's time to get out of your comfort zone and live on purpose. Broadcasting to the world from Rockford, Illinois. This is your wake-up call.
Warning.
You are the solutions to all your problems. Stop thinking average. Become the hero version of yourself. Every day, every time, without fail, no exceptions. It all matters. You've entered the No Comfort Zone. It's time for a reality check.
Hey, welcome back to the No Comfort Zone. This is Dan. You're in your reality check. Check this out. When a champion wins a tournament, when a champion wins an event, what's the mindset behind that champion? I don't know what most people do, but I know what I've done before in the past to get me into problems, to create adversity for myself. I would celebrate, and I realized that all too often in life, we are celebrating before the championship, or we're celebrating an event, and it's quite frankly, it's not even that big of an event. It might be big for you, but then the celebration goes on, and I've experienced this. I know other people have as well. I've talked about this before, that, here you raise your glass to yourself because you're a hero of the universe, you're a champion, and basically all you've done is completed a day of work, or you did what you were supposed to do. It comes down to what I think is the mindset of a champion. Really comes down to, when you win a champion, a lot of champions think, what could they have done better? A lot of champions, believe it or not, when they look into the fact that I won a championship, I've won a major event, I've succeeded, I am at the top of my game, they look back and they're happy, they're excited, they're elated. But the moment that goes away, and it goes away fast, like next, that's about how fast it goes away. What ends up happening is a lot of people look back and go, okay, where did I shortcut? Because that's the way a champion thinks. Everybody else wants to celebrate for weeks on end, and they're not champions. And if this is one of those messages that I say, it's a reality check. Are you celebrating too much? I'll tell you why I'm saying this, where this comes from. For one of the first times that I can remember, and when I did this, when I lost the weight just recently, I talked about it on one of my podcasts. I talked about it on one of my podcasts where I lost 12 pounds. I did that in 10 days. And immediately, I had made a decision that I need to work harder. I'm doing things and I'm getting comfortable now. Now that I know, I wasn't supposed to weigh myself, by the way, in that 10 days. I was supposed to wait 6 weeks because that's how long the program is. I took a shortcut. I got comfortable. I want to see what I'm doing. I want to see if this hard work's paying off. Even though I feel better, even though I enjoy the process, even though people around me are saying, wow, my wife is like, gosh, I've never seen you with this much self-discipline. And I have self-discipline, but not to this level she hasn't seen. Now she's really, dialed in. What are you doing? And the reason why she doesn't know what I'm doing is because I do it all in the basement. I've talked about that before too. But as soon as I found out where I weighed in at, I made a very quick, all right, cool, I'm happy, but now I got to work harder. And I think that's what you need. I really do believe that. At 50 years old, I've had a ton of adversity that I've created for myself because I celebrated too much. Hey, I got married and I took the relationship for granted. I took it easy. I celebrated, partied, had a good time. Didn't have my disciplines and principles in place when it came to relationships, when it came to me. When it came to being a father, the same thing. All these things and even being a salesperson. There's time. I had a friend of mine a long time ago tell me, he's like, Dan, you have a responsibility to everybody around you to sell more than the 9 cars you are. You're a 30-car guy selling 30 cars a month. Average salesperson sells about 9. I was selling about 30 a month in half of the month. And this friend of mine, still friend today, Fabian, shout out to you. He said, dude, what are you doing, man? You're like, people are looking at you. And I have a responsibility to everybody else to maintain my 30-car average and doing it the way I was doing it instead of acting like I don't need to anymore. He was right. He was right. I fell into a funk, got stuck, stayed around 9 for a while, just like everybody else. It was doable. It was survivable. It was average. I was getting along. I was getting by. But that ain't me. I was miserable, really, on the inside. So I decided to get serious. I took all my plaques off the wall, and I went down and I acted like I was new. And if you're in the retail automobile business, you know what I'm talking about. Act like you're new. I took down all the accolades. My whole office was filled with awards. I took them all down and I put them out, put a picture of my family up there, and that's it. That's it. Customers from previous would ask me what happened. I'm just changing things up a little bit. I really haven't been there and done that. I need to work harder at it. I need to work harder at helping you. I need to be a better servant. And people appreciated it, and it got right back on top real quick. So instead of celebrating, instead of looking back and going, you know what, I've made it to the destination, why not push forward? Why not set new goals? I do. I have a new goal now. I wanted to be 185, not in 6 weeks. I wanted to be 185 in 4 months. Now I've pushed that. I still want to be at 185 and healthy and fit. I want to enjoy the process. I want to enjoy exercising. I want my knee injury to go away. I want to feel better in my body so my bones and joints and stuff don't hurt. And by losing the weight, it's helping. But I really, truly want to be 185 in 90 days. So from December 27th to, I don't even have the date in front of me, sorry, but I'm do the math. 90 days from now, I want to be at 185. That's a substantial commitment. That's going to take a lot of work. No time to celebrate. It's time to get up. It's time to get over it. Time to move on. Think about your goals, where you're at right now. Think about what you might have. It might be a sales volume target. It might be whatever it might be for you. I'm just driving along thinking here. I wanted to talk to you and let you know whatever your goal is. Are you looking at it daily? Are you tracking the results? Or are you tracking the progress? And what I mean by that is, are you putting in the work, the daily activities? Take a piece of graph paper, and every time you do something towards your goal, color it in. I might have mentioned this on one of the podcasts before. So what I would do is I would actually color it in, just anywhere on there, color it in. And it's funny, when I got about a third of the way through coloring these things in, it's amazing how my goals have changed, but also the accomplishments were there. I just look back and I'm like, wow, this is amazing. When you do things a little bit at a time and you track the progress of your activities, it's amazing what happens. I didn't want to weigh in. I shouldn't have weighed in, but I did. Now I can talk about it. I can publish it on the podcast. I can prove to you that in 10 days, a lot can happen. But more importantly, I didn't celebrate this time. I got harder on my dreams, my hopes, and my ambitions. I focused more on where I want to go with this. And in the end, I know it's going to help me, but more importantly, I want it to help you. And if you're in a place right now and you're just kind of, I don't know what I want to do. Dan, I want to do this. I want to do that. I just don't know where to start. Or I'm currently doing this, or I feel like I'm meh. Go to launchwithdan.com. Get on my calendar so that I can call you. So we can start a relationship. And that relationship is based on your goals, your hopes, your dreams, and your ambitions, and me helping you take one step in the right direction, then another step, then another step. Then when you have the momentum, you just keep following the blueprint. Then we catch up when we talk to see where you're at. We check in for accountability, and we just keep moving forward together. Now, once you live an accomplishment and you celebrate your victories, quickly you move on to your next goals in your life. It's kind of fun how it works out, and it's awesome to see people achieve their goals. I'm fortunate because I work in a sales-related business in the automobile industry, and I get to see salesmen hit their objectives and managers hit their objectives all the time. I also see what it's like when they don't hit their objectives and the reason why. And it is thin as a razor's edge. It's the activities and the effort that you put in to a specific space working toward your ideal. When you don't put the effort in, you don't get the results. Go to launchwithdan.com. Let's start your journey toward success. It's time to get out of your comfort zone and live on purpose.
Say goodbye.
Want more of the No Comfort Zone? You can follow Dan on Instagram and Twitter at NoComfortZone1.
Bye.
Or on the web at thenocomfortzone.com.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Thanks for listening to the No Comfort Zone podcast.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.